Hi there, my name is Luke Beckman, and I serve as the task group leader for the American Red Cross National Vaccination Community Partner Engagement Task Group. In this video, we're going to talk about a piece of software that meets all of the requirements of our task group with respect to managing and scheduling volunteers and workers at vaccination sites. So I'll share my screen and we'll dive in. The software we're going to be talking about is called timecounts.org or timecounts. One really important thing with any piece of software and trying to learn it and understand it is to look at the videos and the training materials they already have. In this video, we'll go into the detailed steps that talk to a vaccination site specifically, but you can go ahead and click on the blog and you'll see here under the blog, there's getting started for admins, trying to understand different plans that they have, some videos, and different walkthroughs from different user perspectives. Now, I already have an account, so I'll go ahead and I'll sign in. When I sign in, you'll see here as an admin that all of my different organizations or hubs, as they call that, and dashboards, they're all right here. But what you would do as a new user, as a new admin, was you would create an organization. So in this case, we can call this test Vax Site 1. And you'll see here you get a unique URL. So you can grab this URL and share that when it comes to recruiting and engaging volunteers or any kind of worker. When they see that, they'll be able to click, they'll be able to sign up, give their information, and sign up for shifts, most importantly. When you go to the next step, you'll see here there's actually a unique category for vaccination site. So a lot of the things that you might have to do manually that we'll talk about will come preloaded or pre-populated with time counts. So once you click that and click next, you'll basically create your organization or your hub. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go into one of my organizations that I've already created. And this one here, basically, it's important to know how to navigate the site. So once I navigate the site, I have dashboard, community, organize, communicate, track, report, the hub itself, and settings. So let's start at the high level and work backwards. The hub is basically the public landing page. And if you just created a regular old landing page, what you'll see here is the ability to change a background, change the theme, enter the name of your vaccination center. And what's really nice here is this text comes preloaded for you. So you can just type in whatever our site's name is. So it could be, test site 1, or could be, the Washington High School, whatever that is. And the way we've configured the site, you can add your logo, add some descriptions. We've got a template mission in here for you. But the way we've configured it is there are two paths that a user might take, if they're clinical or if they're non-clinical. Here's the reason for this. Most clinical shifts, you're going to want to vet who the user is, right? You need to verify that they're a nurse or they're a paramedic, that they have a license, training, or certification. With that, you don't just want any person signing up to be a vaccinator. You want to verify that they are who they say they are, that they have the license they claim to have, and then they can sign up for shifts. On the non-clinical side, if say you're a wayfinder, a greeter, a runner for logistics, or somebody helping with transportation or parking, you don't really need any license to do that. And so if I want to sign up for a shift, then just let me sign up for a shift. So we've already given you a template. You don't have to set it up this way, but this template just takes some work off of your plate. So that is our landing page, the hub here. As we think about the different tools that we have, we're going to need to set up an event. Once we have the event, we can talk about the roles and the positions that exist. Then we can schedule shifts, right? We can create that actual schedule. Then we can allow people to sign up. Then we can allow them to work. Then we can start creating reports and have dashboards, and then we can run our site. So the first thing I want to do is create an event. So I'll go ahead here and I will click the calendar, and you'll see here I actually have clinical shifts. What you would do is you would click new when you're doing your site. You would click a new event. And again, we talked about having a clinical and a non-clinical event. And I won't go into every detail here. This is just a high-level overview. So with our event name, I would probably call this Clinical Shifts at Washington Vaccination Site, for example. And a location, I can go ahead and create a custom place or location. I can put in the address for that. I'll start my schedule. Let's say we start Saturday and I want to run for a month. So let's say I want to go to March 27th. We open at 6 in the morning and we'll close at 8 o'clock p.m. So that's pretty easy and straightforward to do. I've got to put in a location. I'll just say I'm online for now since I'm giving you a quick overview. Once I create the event, there are descriptions and details, and I can set up these permissions. You want to make sure here that your permissions are set to public so people can find it very easily. And if I was doing a clinical event, I want to review those applications. If I'm doing a non-clinical set of roles, then we'll just want to approve those applications. And you see here, you can even set up your different shifts. We've pre-populated this for you, so it will just say confirm shifts automatically, right? So if I'm just doing wayfinders, for example, or greeters, then that's all I want. I can do an image that goes with it. I can upload a photo. Maybe I have something stock for my organization. And then we have a sign up form. And we've actually given you a template for a sign up form. So we'll get to that in a second. And I'll just go ahead and create and save my event. But remember, calendar equals events. So I'll go into the schedule. And you see here when I click, we've even pre-populated some of the potential roles that you might use at your event. So let's say I do a greeter in Wayfinder. I can go ahead and click next. Let's say that's the only one I want to do. This is my location. You could set this up for multiple locations. And I'll go to the schedule. Now, with time counts' basic plan, meaning the free one, you don't get a recurring shift. All right, I'll have to create each shift on a recurring basis, meaning I have to create a shift, do it again, do it again, do it again, but it's actually pretty easy to do. So what I would do is I've got my greeter here, right? I clicked add shift. My shift starts here. I'll go to 6 o'clock in the morning. It's 4 hours. And let's say I need 10 greeters and wayfinders, but I know I'm getting volunteers, so I might assume a 20% no-show rate. So let's allow 12 people to sign up, because if 2 drop, then I'm still at my 10. And I can create and add another. So I would go for the Saturday. Let's say it was a 4-hour shift, so I went from 6 a.m. to 10 a.m., but I probably want a little bit of overlap so folks show up and they're ready to go. Maybe I don't. But let's go with just no overlap, and I want to schedule them at 10 a.m. And that would be a 4-hour shift. Again, we go 10 here, I go 12, create and add another. So that's a way, and I would do that for each day moving forward. Now I can scroll left and right to see different things. So here we are on the 27th, and I can actually go at the month view, so I can see where I have shifts scheduled. I can go at the week view, and I can go at the day view. So here's the day, right? I can flip my different days, but I'm on the 27th. So I can see how many people in real time have signed up for shifts once I've actually made that available by publishing it. Once I publish it, it's live. I can view a list of seeing everybody who's signed up and confirmed for shifts. I can message individual workers. And I can see here different people who've picked different shifts. So it's just a different view, helps me as an administrator. The details again here, we set that up. That's what I have for my events. Now, we talked about that sign up form. From the user perspective, what I need to be able to do is I need to be able to understand who's coming into my organization, aka my vaccination site, and you can actually see everyone here. So I'm in here and I can go ahead and click this, and you can actually very quickly see information based on the sign up form for each of our workers who sign up at the site. So that's pretty easy and pretty slick. And if you had 100 different people, you can filter on a whole bunch of different fields, different skills, and different tags. I can also import a whole bunch of workers. If I have another database, I can import workers into this one to start working with them. So what I want to show next is if I go to my dashboard, I can see sort of everything that's happening in time counts. I have my hub. I have my sign up form, I have an activity. So I've done each of these different things. But one of the things that we haven't talked about is my sign up form. So again, under the events, we talked about creating an event, right? So I've got my schedule. We want to know who's signing up and what does that look like from the admin? That's on the people side. But what does that sign up form look like? Because every worker who's going to work at our site has to do two things. They have to create an account with time counts, just like you do for most applications. The system needs to know that it's you. And then secondly, the worker needs to give us some information, us being the admin of the site, even if we're automatically approving that worker. So we would go, because the form relates to the event, we're still under our event or the calendar tab, and I click here on forms. So I go to the general sign up and I'll go over into the edit feature. And what we have here are a whole bunch of questions that are pre-populated for you by time counts because we selected Vaccination Site. You can change any of these if you want to. So we've got name, email, cell phone, how do you want to be contacted, your address, date of birth, organization or affiliation. That's a really nice one because what if you have a bunch of workers coming from Red Cross, United Way, Boy Scouts if you allow youth, AmeriCorps, FEMA Corps, could be the military, could be the county organization, they could be employees of your organization volunteering their time. So I can go ahead and very easily click here and change. For example, I could just put Red Cross. This way, when a user signs up, we know everybody who's affiliated with the Red Cross. So that's a pretty easy one to change. See, there's Red Cross right there. We can ask for languages that people speak. If we want on-site interpreters, they can put in their custom language. What other roles might they be interested in? Because maybe today we're only opening up for one role, say that greeter or wayfinder, but over time we're going to open up to more roles, and let's already use the people we already have so we can message them and say, hey, we're now going to allow medical supply clerks and runners. And again, we've got a little description that we suggest to you. You can change all of that. If you're qualified for a clinical position, then you can go ahead and check the box. We ask for the license, the certification, the expiration date, and then you can check the box to confirm that this information is true, right? So kind of affirming your information. If you want to change something or add something, all you've got to do is click, drag, you change the title field, you change the field, I can click delete. It's really easy. I can do a drop down, almost any field type that you're used to filling out on any kind of form. So this is WYSIWYG. What you see is what you get. Pretty simple and straightforward, and I can publish the changes there. I won't because I'm just giving a walkthrough. And depending on your plan, you can change different response. You can change different settings of the form, but every time somebody fills out a form, you can change this thank you text that comes with it. And then you can see as people start to sign up, you can catch all of your responses here with respect to the form. And if I want to tag a response, right, let's say this person might be a really good leader or admin, I could create a tag and add that, but that requires a higher level plan, not the basic free plan. Once people start signing up, I can communicate with them. I'll click on the little chat box here. So I can basically message. Now I haven't put, as an admin, I haven't put an address or a phone number in here or my email, but once you have that in there, and I have a worker, John Smith, through this portal, think of this as my messaging gateway. I can just communicate to the workers. If I need to give a specific person some information, I can do that via text or email. Every time counts plan comes with a set number of free messages and emails that are targeted in this way every month. It resets each month, and you can buy additional credits if you need to communicate with more workers. When a worker signs up for a shift, that worker is going to receive an automatic notification reminding them of that shift. That's not included in that credit piece. That's included with time counts. So that comes standard. Now, as we upgrade our plan, we can start to get some pretty powerful reporting tools. Doesn't come with the standard plan. I think most users who are using this for a vaccination site are probably going to want to go with one of the paid plans. Many of these costs we know can be deferred or reimbursed. And they're quite reasonable. What I'll do is I'll actually show you the mid-range plan This is essential. If you go with a yearly subscription, I think this one is about $15 a month. Pretty straightforward. Big difference you get here is you can have multiple admins. That's a really nice one. But I also now have the reporting feature. So I can see total hours. I can look at my engagement, community. We can customize these different reports. But when I do that, you'll see here time counts has got a lot of different descriptions and details on how to customize a report. Now, if I want to go to a more advanced plan where I have, and I think this is a big difference for a user, going to the premium account. When you go to a premium account, and I'll show you on the calendar side, I'll just go in here. This is a test event we created, and I'll go into the schedule. You'll see here we've got lots of different shifts all the way over here on the right. And let's go to the day. Here we go. So I've got a lot of different shifts. If I'm doing many different roles, many different kinds of shifts, this plan could be really helpful because I can pick my role. So I'll go to my Wayfinder, and let's say we're talking the 27th, and I want to do, let's say I've got a evening shift, 5 o'clock till 9 o'clock or something. And I can repeat that every day for the duration of my event, which could be, a month or 2 months. We recommend setting this out a month, but that's really easy. Saves me some time as an admin. This is still the same, and I can create a repeating shift, and time counts will create that Wayfinder shift every day, 5 p.m. for, in this case, let's say I have my 12 and, my 10 and my 12, 10 minimum, 12 maximum, and I could even create a waiting list. If I want more people, in case we're really worried about that role and we really need to make sure it gets filled, I could create a waiting list if I want to. So that's what we really have with time counts. Again, there are different plans. Each has its own different price. I'll go over here back to the home page. I could have multiple vaccination sites that I'm trying to manage within my organization if I wanted. But if I go back here to time counts, if you want to understand the differences in the plans, we'll just go to timecounts.org. And you could go over here to pricing to see the different features and the different plans. So this is a little bit of an overview of what we can do with time counts, how you can customize it, how you can easily build different shifts, different roles, descriptions of the shifts and roles, as well as the worker management. One thing that I also want to touch on is we'll go here to the admin dashboard. When you get to an essential plan, again, we're starting to pay. When I go up to the premium plan, one feature that I have not yet mentioned is the ability to, let's call it the bells and whistles. Now, depending on your organization, you might really love these bells and whistles, and you might need them. And so if I go in here, I've got my workers, all that's good, pretty straightforward. When I look at my opportunities, here we are. I have all of my different activities. I can filter that. Where is it here? I believe it's in my settings. Yep. So the settings piece starts to get more robust. Basically, I get more options when I go to the premium plan. Here are the two things. We have resources and we have checklists. These get unlocked when I go to the premium plan. So what I could do is if I had training materials, documents, kind of anything I want, if I need workers to see things ahead of their shifts or have access to those during their shifts, but probably ahead of time, I can upload the files here so that every time they go to the hub on time counts when they're signing up for shifts, they can see these documents. The other piece is a checklist. I can create a checklist at the premium level. I can create a checklist of the 1, 2, 3, 4, 10, or 15 steps that I need a worker to complete before they show up for their shift. And I can see by worker how many of the different items in the checklist they have completed at any stage in the game. So that's a nice, neat kind of bell or whistle feature that you get with premium. We know some organizations want this or care about this, some don't. but we wanted to mention that to you. So that's an overview of time counts. It's a pretty straightforward tool, and we found that it gets users what they need. It makes it easy on the admin, which is extremely important because we know how busy those admins are. They're tired, they're overworked, they've been doing this for a year, and they know they've got months to go with vaccinations. So we want to try and save them time so they can focus on running an effective vaccination site. It also makes it easy for the end user. And the way you can actually see that is if I go, what does it look like for the end user? I'll go ahead and click the globe here, and I'll click go to the hub. And this is my end user experience. Go ahead and click here. And then we have our opportunities. And we have our events. When you do the time count, let's actually do it in here. I think I have it built. Let's see if I published it. I haven't published my event. Give me 1 second. I want to go to here. Here I have my event. So this is what an end user would see. I just haven't set it up yet. They'll see they've got the logo, they've got the background image, they've got an address potentially, they've got about what are we trying to do with this. They would click on this schedule, right? That could say clinical for you or non-clinical. Maybe you want to do one for both because you don't care. And what they'll see are the available roles along with skills that we've pre-populated that come with each of these roles. So they know, okay, this might be for me, this might not be for me. They see how many slots there are. Hey, I've got 372 volunteer slots. And they'll go ahead and click on volunteer. Now, I've already filled out that form, but they would sign up for some shifts. They'll fill out the form, and then depending on whether we want to vet them or not, they're either automatically confirmed into the shifts or they need to hear back from us. So let's say I want this shift. You can sign up for multiple shifts. All right, I've got a couple, or I can just look by role, right? So I can see, oh, these are the different roles by days. Or if there's multiple locations you want to set up, you can do it by that way. But here we have vaccine prepper. Great. Give me all, I want to be a vaccine prepper. So give me, I already work in the 7 to 8. Is there another shift? Well, these are by different days. And I want to take the 25th as well. So I'll go ahead and click next. Again, there are 372 opportunities. It's pretty easy for me to see which opportunities were which. And I would go ahead and hit submit. Once I have that, I'll get an email saying I'm either confirmed in or I need to wait to hear back from somebody. In this case, we'll get back to you as soon as we can. That was that auto response message that we set up. So pretty simple and straightforward for a volunteer to sign up for shifts. And I go back as the admin. I can see my opportunities, right? I have those events that I created. If I want to see the workers I have, well, they show up right here. I can go to my event. We can see our schedule. I've got 2 slots filled. I can go to the day, show me the shifts. You see here, 1 out of 12 shifts has been taken up. I can click this. I want to manage my volunteers for that shift. I've got 1 person confirmed. I've got Veronica. I'll click on Veronica. I can get detailed information on her. I can see her profile. I can contact her. So easy communication back to the worker, in this case, the volunteer. So that's the overview of time counts. I hope this has been helpful. And for any questions, please contact me at luke.beckman, luke.beckman @redcross.org. Thank you very much.